Welcome everyone to introducing the podcast. It's your girl, Smart Video Girl. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Beautiful people. Let me know if you can hear me. A class is officially in session. Okay. So welcome to introducing the podcast, new ways of thinking and new ways of being. All right. This is your session, you know, where you can come in, come get your notebooks. Make sure you got your notebooks. Okay. Make sure you come to class prepared because we are in Earth School and this is what introducing the podcast is here to do. I'm Smart Video Girl. I'm your creative. It's you tapping in, tuning in, and being here, right, to enlighten yourself, okay? To enlighten yourself. So, roll call. I see everybody in the building. I see you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Patricia. Hey, shout out to fighting those demons out there. Fitness. Get your lives, okay? If you need some sessions, holla at me and I'll hook you up with my boy. And Pro Noise Starseed Podcast. What it do, girl? And Cortland Jones, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are on time and early. You guys would be like good students at Hampton University. That's all I have to say. But I love you. So if you did not know, class is in session. If you did not hear it, I'm going to give you one more time. You know how they have two bells, right? That'll let you know class is officially in session. And today's podcast, we're talking about I know what to do, but I don't do it. Moving from awareness to aligned action. Okay. Moving from awareness to aligned action. And the importance of this subject is great. So I was going to do it last week, but I took a break from the podcast because, we finished the 12-week series of the universal laws. Okay. We finished the universal laws and I was like, how can we submit this? Because you guys have the information now. Anybody who's watched the series, the 12 universal laws, right? And they say knowing is half the battle. But in the knowing, we have to get to the point where we're shifting and we're actually new ways of being, right? New ways of being. And knowing leads to new ways of thinking so that we can new ways of being, have new ways of being. Okay. So that's what today's show is all about. That's what this show is really about. And I really want to drive that home because this is a real conversation and I know it will resonate with many of us because how many people have said, I know? That's my thing. I know. I already know that. I know that. I know, but I don't do. We know and we do not do. And that itself is the issue. So maybe it's in your health. Maybe it's like me. Like, I know I need to go to the gym. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's in your business. Maybe you need to make those reels. Okay. Maybe it's in your relationships. Maybe you need to work on yourself in the relationship. Or you need to apologize to somebody in the relationship, or even in your spiritual practice, you need to create a routine. All the things, how to, burn incense and sage and pull tarot, and you know how to tap in, but you don't apply these things to yourself. So what we want to do is we want to take the information that we know and we want to start to implement and do what we know. You've got the knowledge, you've read the book, you've taken the notes, you've come to introduce and podcast. All right. But when it comes to actually applying it, you suck. Okay. Or you get stuck, whichever one. All right. And I'm in that boat. We're all in this boat together. There's different levels to it. Okay. But the awareness has to lead to aligned action in order for there to be actual change and growth. So tonight we're going to talk about why this happens. And more importantly, we're going to move out of that stage into a space where I know what to do and I do it because that's where we're going to see the manifestation of our dreams. That's where we're going to see our reality shift to those things that we truly want and desire. Okay. All right. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. Let's get into it. So where am I? Where we go? I meant to bring my book over here too, real quick. So yes, the book is out. FYI, if you still have not gotten your copy, if you still need to read it, if you haven't finished reading it, finish reading it. Okay. Now I do know, because I have spoken to some people, that the book will have you stuck because it does inquire. It requires you to inquire with yourself, to answer questions and be introspective, to say, hey, am I living the life that I believe? Am I doing the work that I know that I need to do? Okay. And this asks that question. So if you have not gotten the book, please scan the QR code, get you a copy. If you have read the book, thank you. I love you. And if you haven't gotten the book, you still have time. All right. I said that already, but I'll say it again. All right. So here we go. Knowing and doing. There's that space. There's a space in between knowing and doing. And that space is what we're talking about today. Okay. We need to normalize this learning process, because what it is a learning process. All right. There's a gap between learning the information, knowing the information, and then applying and living the information. And what most people get stuck in between obtaining the knowledge and applying the knowledge. So we're really, and the reason you're gonna hear me say that a lot, because one of the keys to this is repetition. You learn through repetition. So you're gonna learn through me saying several times that there's a gap between your knowing and your doing. And I'm saying that so that you can become aware, consciously aware, that even though you may say, I know, you need to start asking your question, am I doing? Okay. Because if we do that, then we start to shift our consciousness. We get complacent in the knowing. Yeah. We get complacent in the knowing. So the gap between knowing and doing is the gap where change is actually happening. That's where change actually occurs. And that's why you guys are here, because you actually want to change. Okay. All right. I know you guys love me, and that's great. And I love you too. But the whole point is for us to grow. It's for you to grow into who it is that you desire to be. All right. So we're going to take this knowledge. We're going to go from knowing to a doing. All right. And so why do we get stuck in the knowing and not the doing? Right. It's the good old things. If you have any guesses, and you can put it in the chat for you. Is there something that you know that you don't do? And when you think about that, why is it? And a lot of times that can be fear, all right? Fear of failure or fear of success. You're just scared. You're scared if you step off the ledge, you might fall off, right? Even if you know, you still might not do because you're scared. All right. That is something to think about. Another one is overthinking and perfectionism. Now that's mine. That's mine. I'm an overthinker. I think about everything. So I tend to overthink in my knowing. I know so much that I think about all the things that I know. That is my thing. Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest. That's my thing. I know too much, so I think about the things that I know, and I'm constantly thinking about them and not doing them, right? Because the doing is almost a letting go, a letting go. Okay, all right. Comfort zone, resistance to discomfort, and this is the thing, because when you actually start to do what you know, there leads to this discomfort, right? So think about it. When you know something, it doesn't require a change of you. You can be comfortable in your knowing and not do the thing that you know you need to do. but it is in the practice, it's in the application of the doing that causes discomfort, because there is change happening. And anytime change happens, then that means there needs to be there's going to be a death, and there's going to be a rebirth. There's going to be change. There's things that are going to shift, and because we are comfortable, then we resist that, and so we don't really want to step into the doing. We're good with the knowing. All right, we're good with the knowing. And then another one is lack of structure or accountability. So that one is good. So you know, if you know everything and you don't have people around you who can say, well, you say you know, but you're not doing it. That's accountability. You want people who are going to hold you at a standard, that are going to say, I know you know better. I know you do. So there's accountability there, to because ultimately we want to see growth, or we want to see you excel. You see, that's accountability. People who know that you know better, they're going to hold you to a different standard. They say that, in different realms, they're like in church, or in the spiritual realm, or even in the teaching profession, in different professions. If you have a certain amount of knowledge, right, you are held at a higher standard. You are more accountable than the people who do not know. So if you don't have that accountability, either with yourself or with the support group, you may not do those things that you know. Or if you don't know, because now you may have the information, but you don't know about how to go about implementing it. And that's why I'm glad that you're here today with me on Introducing Podcast, because I'm going to help you with some of that knowing of how to create some structure for yourself, so that you can start to implement what it is that you want. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I'll make sure I got this. So these are 4 stages of learning and growth. Okay. These are the stages of learning and growth. This is important. To know where you're going, you need to know where you have been, and where you are at presently. Okay. I like to add that, know where you are presently, because that's where you can really start to affect change. So now there's 4 stages of learning and growing, and I do go over those in my book. If you have the book, then you know that, because I do talk about this in the book. There's 4 stages. So there's unconscious incompetence. It sounds like a lot of big bad words, but really what it means is, I don't know what I don't know. You don't know. You have no knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. You have no idea that it's there. You're unconscious and incompetent. You have no clue. All right. Then you come across something. Oh, look at what I just found. I just found something. Now I know something, but I don't really know, right? And now I know that I don't know something. I'm conscious that there is something I don't know. And so we go on an exploration, right? Between conscious incompetence and then conscious competence, which is, I know, I try to do. So as you came onto this podcast, you watched the 12 laws. You said, oh, I didn't know about that. Now you know, right? So you went from this unconscious incompetence to now you have a conscious competence. You have some understanding of it. You have some knowledge of it, right? And if you don't try, right, to do, if you don't go from conscious competence to actually trying to do, you are in this perpetual cycle of just accumulating knowledge. All right. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in the in between, where they're accumulating knowledge. It's like, I know what to do and I don't do it. and I just keep getting more information. Instead of doing it, I keep learning. That's what it is. So instead of trying out the clothes, I just shop all day and I don't put the clothes on. I just put them in my closet because I'm not going to wear them. I'm just going to accumulate them. Okay. So that is that is facts. So complacency. Woo. Yes. That yes. And the fear of the unknown. That feels very familiar. That's very familiar to me. As I know for a fact when I was in the gym. And I was in this, I don't know what I don't know. Like when I get in, I don't know what I don't know. And then I start lifting and it's like, okay, I know, but I don't know how to do it right. And right. Then there becomes then the doubt, the fear start to creep in when I have to try to do it. Right? When I have to try to do it, fear will come in. And it's I can't. That's fear, right? Accountability. I'm supposed to do 10 and I do 5. that is, I'm being transparent here. I'm being very transparent. So that is something that we have to examine. So look at where you are. Look at, examine, and see where you are in that. Are you what areas are in your life have you gone on a mission of accumulating knowledge? Listening to what everybody is telling you, you have accumulated a whole bunch of information, but you have not tried it out for yourself. You don't have any firsthand experience. Because let me explain something to you about experience. You can learn a lot through someone telling you, but it's nothing like experience itself. It's nothing like trying it on yourself to know if it's actually going to fit you and where you have to make adjustments for your life. So you have to try on these laws. You have to say, okay, so we have the law of cause and effect, which says that you are the ripple, you are the cause, always, right? How can you try that on for size if you know this, but somewhere in your habits of your doing, you're not doing it? You're not trying to be the cause. You rather be the effect. I'm just saying. So examine. Let's look at that. Where are you at with that? All right. And one of the things that I want to drive home is the importance of being honest with yourself. Okay. Because the only way that this work is going to work is if you're honest with yourself. I spoke at the Willow Wellness Retreat, and one of the things that I said to the ladies at that time was, a lot of the times that we can't get out of the darkness, we can't get out of the space that we're in is because we lie to ourselves. It's not the lie we tell other people. It's the lie we tell ourselves that keeps us stuck in the wilderness, that keeps us stuck in the loop of doing the same things over and over again, knowing that there's a way out, but you won't dip your toe out. You won't step out on that to actually try and do it. Okay. But this here right now, I just put on the screen for you are 5 ways that you can these are 5 ways that you can practically move into the doing. We're going to move into the doing. So we want to do this in small pieces. Okay. Where is it? Is it your time management? Is it your hygiene? Is it your business practices? Is it your spiritual practices? Is it your physical? Is it your eating habits? What is it that you need to do that's going to create small momentum towards the try? Okay, because try is one of those words I don't really like. Try, but but in this case, in order to move us along on the spectrum, right, on the law of polarity on the spectrum. We're going to at least try so that we can move to the place that we want to be. All right. So we want some small steps, micro actions that will develop momentum, because again, it's the keeping it going that will help you stay in that, to practice the knowledge that you have. Okay. Remind yourself there was 12 laws. Pick a law and use that law in your life for the week, for the day, for the hour. Break it down however it works for you. Okay. Create routines. Consistency beats intensity. All right. And this is something that I have to be aware of too. Like we have big goals, and a lot of time when we get information and we know it'll be at such a high level that we want to accomplish it at that level. So if it tells us we need to be drinking 100 ounces of water, I'm just throwing something out there. If we need to drink 100 ounces of water, but we won't even drink a little bottle. We have to start. We have to create a routine of, even if I'm sipping water all day, the consistency of sipping water and instead of chugging it will create consistency. hmm I have noticed that in myself, because I had something that I wanted to do was to start drinking more water. I got me a big jug, and when I drink the jug, it does. When I fill up the jug and I drink from the jug versus from the bottles of water, I tend to drink more water. So the routine of using the jug versus the water bottle creates the result. So that routine has been helpful for me, because that's one thing. I'm just trying to be hydrated out here in these streets. So I'm gonna start with my hydration. Okay. All right. Use accountability. Mentors, coach, community. Mentors, coach, community. Whose responsibility is your growth? It's your responsibility. Okay. It's your responsibility. But you use community, you use coaches, you use mentors, you use friends, you use family as your accountability to help you stay responsible to you. I told my son when he was in the third grade that his education was his responsibility. Okay. The information that he has, I am his accountability partner. The people that I surround him with are his accountability partners in that. So these are small ways that he can be responsible for the information that he is learning. I want him to learn. I don't want him to just I don't want him to just know, right? And this is what I was telling him. I don't want him to just know, or actually learn. And in that, one, he has to apply the information that he is learning, the information that he knows. He has to apply that. So the accountability comes through teachers, him doing his assignment, and teachers holding him accountable for showing his work, doing his work, proving that he has the understanding. And if he's not doing the work and applying the information that he knows, he's not learning. If you're not doing what you know, and for personal growth, for personal development, for self-awareness, you're not doing it. And it is very important, right? It has become fashionable to talk about self-awareness. It has been fashionable to talk about, spirituality. But listen, honey boo boo, it is not fashionable to talk about it and not be about it. It's not fashionable to be kikiing about these things, because the fact of the matter is, this is real. This is like, what they said the rapture was the other day, right? Like, Miss me. I missed it. I missed the rapture. I thought we were talking about Anita Baker. But nonetheless, if I am not applying the information that I know in a real tangible way to my spirit and my soul, what am I doing? What are you doing? These are not buzzwords. Self-care is not a spa day, even though I'm going to get me one of those very soon. But self-care is not a spa day. Self-care is applying the knowledge that you know of yourself, how you feel, what you think, into living a better life. That's self-care. That's self-care right there. Okay. All right. Shift your identity. Shift from I am someone who rather than I am trying to. And again, I told you I don't really like that try, but we can start somewhere, but we're going to shift the identity to someone who does. I am someone who is aware of myself. Not I'm someone who tries to be aware of myself. No, I am aware of who I am. I don't want to be a passive, self-aware person. I leave my self-awareness up to other people. That's ridiculous. Leave it up to happenstance or circumstance or theory. You know, my identity and who I am is not textbook. And it does require me to be conscious of myself. And so I want to be someone who does the things. I don't want to be someone who tries. I want to be the person who heals. I want to be the person who does what they know. You know? I don't want to be a contradiction. I don't want to be a contradiction. I don't want to be a contradiction. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there. And then the last thing is repetition and reinforcement. Tie back to the last theme. We want to make sure that we are repeating, because again, repetition, that's what I said, repetition at the beginning is the key. So we are going to be repeating the things. Okay, repeat. Put it on the repeat, y'all. Okay, so real quick, y'all know what we do. We're talking about, this is introducing the podcast. Please make sure that at this moment you take a break, you like, you share, you subscribe if you have not. If you're catching the replay, that's fine. Leave some notes. Put your notes in the comments. What is something that you are going to start doing that you know? Where are you going to hold yourself accountable? Okay. Where are you going to hold yourself accountable? We're going to do a quick musical therapy break. And then when I come back, we're going to do our journal prompts. And you guys know I gets it in and I gets it out. I gets it in and then I gets it out. Okay. So right now we're going to do a quick musical therapy break. This one is going to be AJ McQueen. It's called Liberation. Okay. And I got that one from this Pornoia Starseed podcast. FYI, if you do not check out Pornoia Starseed podcast, make sure you do that. Tomorrow they're going to have a music show. Yes, I saw that, girl. I saw it. I just want to be in the building because the music is elevating. It is musical therapy times 10. So we're going to listen to some Liberation, AJ McQueen, and then get your notebooks because we're going to do our journal prompts. Okay. Journal prompts. We're going to move from a knowing to a doing. We're going to do the things that we know. Stay tuned. Right back.
They said nobody's coming to save you. I had to look inside me. I was looking everywhere but the guy was in me. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great.
Yeah, yo. You know what I fought through just to get her? I evolved so much I feel like I don't fit her. Out of place, my palate increased, I got a higher taste. I don't want it if it ain't organic, and I don't wanna talk if we ain't seeking understanding. And I don't wanna chill if growth ain't what we planning. And I don't wanna take no pictures if they ain't candid. Catch me in a moment or don't catch me at all. They throwing shade underhand and I'm deflecting it all. But if it's good energy, then I'm accepting it all. Yeah, I'm accepting it all. They tried to prosper against me, but they weapons too small. I got God on my side, nickel. I got angels in the field down the ride, nickel. Plus my ancestors, same gang, same hand gestures. Great wisdom, my people say I'm acting different. I tried to put them what I'm on, but they ain't listen. I made some diamonds out this pressure, can't say they ain't glisten. I cut them snakes out my grass cause I heard them hissing. It's a marathon, I do the distance. Yeah, the crowd tried to tell me I was done for, but I ain't listen.
They said nobody's coming to save you. I had to look inside me. I was looking everywhere for a savior, but the guy was in me. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great.
A wise man told me I got a calling on my life. I think I overstand now. I think I get why Miss Johnson kept praying now. I think I get why I lost a lot of friends now. All part of the plan. See, some relationships supposed to land. If they can't grow with you, then they can't go with you. My ex say she was leaving. I said don't let the door hit you. On the way out, I told her stay out. See, I'm finding myself, aligning myself, working and I'm timing myself, reminding myself, yeah, that I'm free. And ain't nobody gonna do me like me. Self-love, it's the best love, that's the best drug. Praise to the Most High, my investor. Yeah, I'm self-driven like Tesla. Yeah, I'm blessed up, from my feet to my chest up. Middle finger to my oppressor. And I press on. I go to war with my demons, I put my vest on. And I turn every L into a lesson. If I got greatness in me, not even a question.
They said nobody's coming to save you. I had to look inside me. I was looking everywhere for a savior, but the guy was in me. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great. The world like to tell you what you can't, what you ain't, that you late. Just remember that you great.
Welcome to Introducing Podcast. Okay, that was your musical therapy break, right? A musical therapy break. The world try to tell you what you ain't, you can't, that you're late. Not me. Okay, you ain't telling me that. And the reason, oh, holla, 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 hallelujah. So the reason, right, the world can tell you that you ain't, that you can't, or that you're late is because you don't do what you know. And if you allow someone else to tell you about you, about how you feel and where you at and everything like that, you're not going to have no liberation. You're not going to be free. If you don't do the things that you know that you need to do, there will be no freedom for you. Period. Period. You will be stuck in the world of I know, but I don't do. And so you will be offended all the time because you're smart, right? You're a smart ass, actually, because you know everything, but yet you do nothing. Don't be that person. Don't be those people. We're not these people. We're not those people. We are people who elevate, we grow. Okay. We hold ourselves responsible for ourselves. Okay. And then we go to community for accountability for people who are going to say, you know better than that. And they're not going to let you get away with that. And they do it from a place of love. Okay. Let's get free, okay? I'm sorry. Let's get free. All right. So I hope you got your journals. Hope you got your journals. Because we're going to do some journal prompts, okay? All right. So here we go. I'm shuffling some cards because I think I got some inspiration. I'm going to pull something for you guys a little later. All right. So the journal prompts are, what's one area in my life where I've been saying, I know what to do, but I don't do it? Mm, mm, mm. And get specific, okay? Get specific because I got a whole lot. I got one right now. I know what God wants me to do. As it pertains to me obtaining the desires of my heart. I know what it is, right? And if I'm honest with myself, if I look back at the things that hold us back from those things that we don't want to do, right? What it becomes excuses. I know what to do, but there is definitely fear there. There's definitely comfort zone, and comfort zone can show up in it's like procrastination too. You know what I'm saying? So there's comfort zone there. But let me tell you, boo, I'm tired of the comfort zone. I am ready to be out the comfort zone. So what do I know but I don't do? Okay, that's one for you. The next one is, what fears or beliefs are holding me back from making consistent action? And let me tell you, I have one for that. This may be helpful for somebody. It's the expectations of what? This is a good one. How do you define success? Does success look like, quote unquote, hard work for you? And if success looks like hard work for you, are you resisting the hard work for fear or for comfort? I mean, that's a good one. I'm just speaking from my gut. Okay. And then the last one is, what one small action can I commit to repeating this week to shift from knowing to doing? What one small action can I commit to shifting repeating this week to shift from knowing to doing? What is that one thing that you can do? What is that one thing that's going to help you? And even if that one thing, and so let's be clear, right? Because inspire action could be you listening to this podcast right now, and you might go put it on repeat. Hey, I mean, that's repetition. It is. It's the action of putting yourself in front and in spaces and listening to things that are going to help shift your mindset. Because if you can't get to the actual doing part, right, then you may have it may not be a physical doing, it may be a mental doing. Because even in the knowing, right, there still has to be the breaking of the barrier. There has to be the shifting of the mind, of understanding of the fears and the beliefs that stop you from getting to what you know, doing what you know. Because when you say I know and you don't do, there is something in the middle there, and most of it is mindset. There's mindset there that is stopping you from making the connection, from doing what you know. Because if you did what you know, then it'd be a wrap. If I did all the things that I know, I struggle with doing the show because it's one of those things I have to hold myself accountable, right? Things like imposter syndrome start to show up for somebody who's like, I'm talking about knowing, doing what you know, right? And sometimes it's speaking out against the fear, speaking out against the belief. Put some fire behind it. A lot of times speaking truth to power, speaking what you know out loud is something that you could do. All right, look, so let's do this. I want to pull a card. I don't usually do stuff like this, but something, I have these cards. I have these beautiful cards. It's like an oracle card. It's called Prism Oracles, and it is different emotions. So I'm just going to pick one, right? I'm just going to, I've been shuffling them the whole time. I want to pick something for us to kind of help us all get on the same page as to like what we can do, right? Where we can start. Because if you don't know where to start, this can be a lot of information. It can be overwhelming. And if you don't have a place to start, if you're like seeking help, if you want to work with me, and there's some things you're just like, smart video girl, I don't know. I know, but I don't know. I need accountability. I got you. Let me know. Okay. Oh, all right. That's wonderful. So the card that came up is confidence. Be confident in what you know. Be confident in what you know. Know yourself. Know that you know what you know. And then step boldly into it. Okay. That's one that. Ooh. So confidence is not a fixed attribute. It's something that we are constantly working to build throughout our lives. Okay. This means that you are at the right time to start working with and enhancing your sense of confidence, self-confidence. How can you build more confidence in your life in a meaningful way? And let me help you out real quick. When you do what you know, it shifts your life. When you do what you know, the things that you have learned, the things that you know to be true, when you do the things that you know, despite your feelings, all right, because this is what we're talking about here. A lot of times we don't do things because we don't feel like it, right? We know, but we don't feel like looking deep into ourselves and getting introspective. We don't want to do that because it's scary. But guess what? When you go into that dark space and you see it's not that bad, you start to build confidence in yourself. Okay? You start to build a confidence about yourself. So, y'all, with that being said, today's round, we'll wrap this one up. We're going to make sure you have your notes. Let me see real quick. Let me go to the comments. Question 3. Corlin says, I take a deep breath. So question 3, what's one small action can I commit to repeating this week to shift from knowing to doing? I can take deep breaths and repeat to myself, focus, follow through, push myself before and during the new activity I am integrating into my life. Right. So breathe, breathe. And as you continue to speak life to yourself, right, you build confidence. A lot of times the inspired action may not feel like action because it is shifting the mindset. So in the obtaining the knowledge, in obtaining the information, in getting the knowing, right? And coming on and watching, introducing podcasts and going through the 12 universal laws and getting that information, it did not require you to have any feeling about it. It didn't require you. You could sit here all day and watch those 12 episodes and get the information, and it's going to come in. You're going to have it, right? But as soon as you start to have to apply this, right, enact, put the knowledge to action, our feelings are going to come in the way. Our feelings are going to start to creep up. And we have to understand where our feelings are. And we have to know how we move from knowing to inspired action, how we go from the awareness of the laws, from the awareness of myself to the application and the implementation of my growth, to move me to another stage so that I can get to the point in my life where I am unconsciously competent. I'm competent. I am now. I'm not trying. I am. That's just who I am. That's just what I do. I am. So let's all get consciously competent. Let's shift to the I ams, okay? We're gonna move out of I know and I try to do, right? We're really going to move into this competence. We want to move into a complete unconscious competence, that our being is in alignment with our awareness. We know who we are. We operate in who we are. We stand in who we are, right? We want to be aligned. We want to make sure our frequency and our vibration is good. Because see, to know, right? So to know and to not do is counterproductive for your frequency. It's counterproductive to your frequency. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Shout out again to everybody. The song for today's musical therapy track was Liberation by AJ McQueen. Shout out to Pronoia Starseed Podcast. Make sure you check out there. If you like that song, you will love all the music over there at Pronoia Starseed Podcast. I mean, you will love all of it because it's really, really good. Shout out to my girl for that. And just again, infuse your life with the things that you know. Infuse your life with the things that you know are going to serve you. You have the information, you have the knowledge, you have a place, you have a friend in me. Come check me out. Let me know how I can help you get the book, Okay. Watch the podcast. Join Be Earth You. Reach out to me for coaching. Get your life together. Do what you know. Okay. Do what you know. And the beauty of it is we'll be working it out together. Okay. We're going to be working it out together. That's what it's all about. Okay. Introducing the podcast. I am your girl, Smart Video Girl. This has been another great episode. I'm going to do one more episode for this season. And then I think I'm going to shut it down for the year. I will be coming on. There'll be other things happening. There will be some information, some class, some reposts, and things of that sort. But I think I'm going to take a break. I usually do a session on gratitude at the end of the year. So I'm also going to continue to do that. And I'll probably bring that to introducing formally. But yeah. Because we want to end this year outright. We're in the fall equinox. We're in that season of life, right? The law of rhythm. We're in that season. We're in the real season where we're shedding. Okay, we want to get rid of the things that don't work for us. We're in the fall season. We want to shed the things that don't work for us. All right. So this is a good time to do that. It's a good time to do the things that you know. You're in a season of fall. You're in a season of reset. Reset. All right. Introducing podcast. Again, this is been another great session. I'm glad you joined me today. We got our notes. You got your notes in. You came to class on time. We had a little musical therapy break, and we're going to build our confidence. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Do what you know. Let's move from awareness to aligned action. I'm your girl, Smart Video Girl, and I will see you. Peace.